Hello, beautiful people. It's Cinderella. Welcome to the channel. Today, we're back again with another video. This is still on the luxury brand and the Chinese manufacturers. And this title reads Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton finally shows their factory in France after being exposed by Chinese manufacturers. Okay, okay, okay. This sounds quite interesting. So, this is from the channel Culture Spill. At this point, it's no news or no surprise that lots of these luxury brands or people at this point are curious to know if the brands or if the luxury brands deceive them or whatever. So we're gonna check this together. We don't know how true this is or the title is or the headline is, but we're gonna check it together and we're gonna check to be sure that this is real or this is true, or maybe it's kind of like a quick rearrangement to just make or the demo factory. We're just gonna check it together. Let's dive right in.
A Chinese factory worker revealed how a Louis Vuitton handbag is casually made, from stitching to packaging, all inside a factory in China. The clip blew up, and within days, TikTok was flooded with similar videos. Workers from all kinds of factories, Coach, Prada, Nike, Chanel, started posting. They weren't leaking info, they were broadcasting it. Suddenly, the luxury world's dirtiest secret wasn't a secret anymore. Most of these so-called European bags are made in China. Some reports estimate that over 80% of luxury leather goods, bags, wallets, belts, are manufactured there.
In fact, more than 80% of the luxury bags in the world are made in China. But those luxury brands just won't acknowledge that. They take almost finished bags from China factories back to their own countries and just do the repackaging and logo installing, something like that. That way, the bags will appear at their boutiques as made in Italy or made in France, those sophisticated European countries.
That includes Louis Vuitton, Gucci, even Hermes. The shocking part is that these factories aren't just making them for brands. They're now going direct to consumers. The exact same bags, same stitching, same hardware, but without the markup.
Anyways, none of this is surprising at all. I'm just perplexed that people find all of this shocking or surprising. Have you actually asked yourself the question, how come about the dupe looks so much alike or so alike as the supposed original or the branded one? Obviously, you're just buying the brand. That's what it means, but it's no surprise.
Here's where it gets wild. According to insiders, the cost of manufacturing a Louis Vuitton handbag in these factories is as low as $15. And yet, these same bags are sold in LV stores for $1,500, $3,000, even $5,000 or more. So, let me tell you what's the difference between the $15 version and the $3,000 one. The label. Apparently the only thing made in Europe about these bags is the finishing touch. The label, the packaging, maybe a final stitch or two to justify the tag, but the bulk of the labor, done in Chinese factories, and people are furious for being lied to for decades. Customers believed they were buying exclusivity, craftsmanship, heritage. Instead,
But no. Yes, you're buying the logo, but no. The brands did not fool you. The brands did not. They did what any other business person would do, and what they're doing is business. Obviously, just pure business. Because, I mean, no brand will ever reveal their source or whatsoever. So I'm not understanding why people are furious like they were deceived. No, the brands did not deceive. They built their reputation to where they are today. That is just it. They, they are branded. They are brands.
and people are furious for being lied to for decades. Customers believed they were buying exclusivity, craftsmanship, heritage. Instead, they were paying thousands for what some are now calling elevated knockoffs. Louis Vuitton did not stay quiet. They released a video showing some workers in France carefully stitching bags, probably hoping it would clarify that the bags are indeed made in France.
Okay. Yeah. Of course, they may have a factory where they do their hand do other activities or with the branding, the logo or whatever, of course they will. But do you think this one is a quick fix? Because yeah, they have the money. It's not, you do not take long to prepare or have a demo factory to prove or to show that this is where it's all being produced. But obviously, I don't think these brands lied to anybody. If we're being honest, they didn't. They actually did not. And you weren't fooled. You were buying the brand, and that is how it is. Because even if you have a business and you're selling a particular item or a product, you're not going to sell it the exact amount you got it for, right? You're also going to add interest profit. And if you've built your brand to a particular level, you know you're also going to pivot or you're also going to evolve. So that is what these brands are doing. It's just as simple.
But the clip looked like it was thrown together last minute. Half the workers looked like they'd never touched a needle before. It felt more like a staged PR stunt than real transparency.
For decades, we have been conditioned to believe that China is just one giant sweatshop pumping out crap while we are the sophisticated, high-end innovators. And it turns out China has just been patiently waiting for us to be completely dependent upon their manufacturers. They have been mastering every technology, absorbing every industry, and then building an empire that doesn't need us half as much as we need them.
And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Louis Vuitton quietly increased their prices. Again. We're talking 3 to 6% overnight on everything. Bags, perfumes, wallets, accessories, no press release, no announcement. Customers were walking into stores thinking they'd pay last week's price, only to be blindsided at the register. At least Hermes warned their customers. They said, "We're increasing prices by 10% next month. Please plan accordingly." But Louis Vuitton, well, they just want your money. And this isn't the first time. Remember during the COVID lockdowns when
But Louis Vuitton, they've already built their name and their brand. So why are people complaining? People are still gonna buy. But again, the exact same thing that we said. It looks like, what if for people? Yeah, it may also give the PR stunt or whatever. But what if? Just what if? Because these brands have the money, they have the resources, they can afford to have a manufacturer, if a factory, they can afford to have it in France, in whatever country they produce their items on. In I just think that because the raw materials are most likely, or majority of the materials are manufactured in China, it's cost effective for them to just have the Chinese manufacturers help produce the bag and ship it all the way to their country and just put their logo and whatever finishing touches on others. I don't think it's not that big of a deal. It's not that bad. It's just their business and their brand. Why are people not getting this aspect? And also, it's just because some people attach so much. How am I gonna say it? They attach it too much, or they just think that if they've not spent a lot of money on some particular item, then they don't think that is luxury enough. And lots of people are made to believe that China produce less quality product or item. That's just the mindset. But really, even on AliExpress, when you shop on AliExpress, who do you think? Who do you think are those vendors on AliExpress? Where do you think they're coming from? Even for those who are shopping on Alibaba.
everyone was indoors, Louis Vuitton raised prices back then too, blaming supply chain issues and raw material costs. Louis Vuitton did release a video showing their factory. However, it seems that did not convince anyone. So now, the company has reportedly sued several of its own Chinese manufacturers for leaking trade secrets. They're accusing them of exposing the supply chain, violating NDAs, and giving bootleggers the blueprint to make perfect fakes. Some of these factories, according to rumors, were making real LV bags by day and knockoffs by night. And it's not just Louis Vuitton. Hermes is getting dragged too, and I did talk about Hermes in my last video, so yeah, please check it out after this video. brands are panicking, and rather than owning up, they're going after the people who exposed it. But they still haven't shown any real proof that the claims are false, apart from that factory tour. Nothing is working for Louis Vuitton. Their stores at multiple locations are empty. So, rumors are swirling that Bernard Arnault, the billionaire CEO of LVMH, Louis Vuitton's parent company, may be stepping down years earlier than planned. He was supposed to stay until at least 85. He's only 76 now, but insiders say he might be walking away early. And here's why. LVMH just lost $9 billion in value in one day. After the leaks, the lawsuits, and the public backlash, sales plummeted, stock dropped, investors panicked, the luxury empire is crumbling. And Bernard, he might be trying to get out before the whole thing collapses.
Whole thing with China exposing luxury brands, Lululemon, Louis Vuitton, Hermes, all of these brands is real. My parents worked in import-export my whole life. Over 30 years they have been in this. Before Alibaba was a thing, my parents were the middleman. American companies will come to them and say, hey, we want these things made in China, and my parents will go actually to China and source the goods and find the factories to make whatever product it might be. Products get shipped back to the US, they slap a label on it, they sell it at, major retail stores. I have known this, that luxury brands are made in the same factory as knockoff brands. When I was in college, I had a pair of UGG boots that just didn't have the UGG tag on it because my parents went to the factory and they were sourcing for a shoe company. They said, hey, we're gonna send you this pair. It was literally $5. You love UGGs. It doesn't have the logo, but it's the same quality from the same factory. I have known this for basically my whole life, and the fact that this is just now coming out is hilarious to me. Just because it's made in China doesn't mean it's garbage. Just because it's made in Italy doesn't mean it's amazing. And
Thank you. Just that. I mean, lots of us have known about this for a really, really long time. So it's no shock or no surprise at all. And literally, lots of people shame some people who don't even wear branded items or whatever just because they think those people can't afford it. Yeah, maybe that is not what they are into. It doesn't mean that because, I mean, when you start to realize that, okay, these brands are actually selling their brand and you are buying the brand, you realize that okay, even the ones that you're buying directly from the manufacturers is not any, or from the factories, not any different from the branded one. The only difference is the branded one has a brand that you're buying. So and exactly, just because it is produced or made in China doesn't mean it is low quality. People should get that mindset and understand that no, because people just automatically associate China to low quality, which doesn't even make any sense. And now they are furious or surprised or shocked that their favorite luxury brands have manufacturers or Chinese manufacturers who manufacture the items or the products in China. Shouldn't be surprised.
most of the time it's not. So beware of what you're buying and don't. This is just now coming out is hilarious to me. Just because it's made in China doesn't mean it's garbage. Just because it's made in Italy doesn't mean it's amazing. And most of the time it's not. So beware of what you're buying and don't just always buy designer things.
Yeah.
Here's the real game Louis Vuitton is playing. They know their brand name carries weight. When you wear LV, you're not just accessorizing, you're flexing. It screams wealth, class, success. They believe customers care more about the logo than the origin.
Yeah.
That even if you know it's made in China, you'll still line up to buy it because of the brand. And for some people, that's true. There's a large segment of buyers who don't care where it's made, how much it cost to produce, or who got exploited in the process. As long as the logo is real, they're in. But others, they feel betrayed. And let me tell you people, bags are not investment. Get this straight. So what now? If Chinese manufacturers can sell the same bags directly to consumers, do we even need luxury brands anymore? Just a logo? And if that illusion breaks, if people stop buying just for the clout, the entire luxury ecosystem could collapse.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, how much are you really paying for the bag? And how much are you paying for the idea of the bag? Honestly, I'm still wrapping my head around everything. For a brand that built its image on prestige and authenticity, this whole situation feels like a slap in the face to the people who supported them for years. But that's just me. I really want to know what you think. Is this the end of luxury as we know it? Do you still trust these brands after everything that's come out? Or does the logo still hold the same weight for you? No matter where it's made, drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading all of them. If you found this video eye-opening, consider subscribing. I've got more deep dives coming your way, and I promise it only gets more real from here. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Well, for me, I still love the brand. I have a love, beautiful love relationship for Louis Vuitton. And yeah, no matter where it's produced, I just love the brand, and I love like their class, the prestige, and whatever. And just because I already know where it's produced doesn't mean that okay, I shouldn't love the brand. I'll still love the brand. But the thing is, people just attach and be like, oh, because it is sold here, then um the somebody revealed that okay, this is where it's manufactured, then the brand deceived them, or they're not gonna shop on. Well, it's up to you. But obviously, the brands did not fool nobody. They were just doing business, and that is just it. They may not have told you where they manufacture their products from or whatever, but still, the brands still carry the name or still carry the weight, which is interest, which makes sort of sense, because I don't think anybody who is built their brand to a certain level would come and reveal their marketing source or whatever. You want them to stay out of business? Nah. I love I love the brand, and yeah, it still does not even change, because I mean, I've already known about this and I still love the brand. I mean, so people should just get over with and understand that well, the brands did not fool you, it was just business. And obviously, it is still luxury. I don't know what to say, but obviously, I still believe that maybe the brand may have manufacture a factory in France where they do, of course they would have a factory where they do all of the repackaging or the branding or whatever. So maybe that's what they decided to show, and then one part to show that this actually exists. But they did not deceive you, if I'm being honest. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What do you think about this so far? I would love you to share that in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that stuff. And until next time, see you in the next video.